Welcome to the brand new Murderous Podcast. I'm your host, Sidney Smith, sitting here side by side with two very good friends of mine, two of the funniest people I know, August O'Neill and Ray Earl. I want to welcome everybody back to Season 3 of Murderous Podcast. Now, let me get out the way first that I know there's been a lot of bitching and complaining about me not producing this show for quite some time. I had to get the right co-host. I think I have them. I got the Cocoa Butter twins sitting here next to me. We about to knock this thing out. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Also want to remind you, because it's been a minute, go to Apple Podcasts. Give us a great review. Drop us those 5 stars. It does help so much. Also, I want you to go to Sidney Smith Creative. That's CRE8TIV.com. Click that Patreon button and join up for the Patreon. We're going to be giving you guys some bonus content, not only from this podcast, but also from my other podcasts that I have as well. Now it's debatable. You also see sketches I've done. You'll see my movies. You'll be the first to see a lot of different things. I have a cartoon comic strip getting ready to drop as well later this year. So you get a chance to see as I flesh that out. Anyway, it's a lot of stuff. There's some rewards, some stickers, some t-shirts, mugs, all kind of shit. So again, check out the Patreon, Sidney Smith Creative, CRE8TIV.com, and check all that out. Now, with no further ado, let me introduce the Murderous Podcast family to my two new co-hosts, August O'Neill, Ray Earl. What is up, folks? What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
August, you still there with us?
I'm here. I am.
Hey, you guys are true crime fans like I am. What is, without revealing who and what you're going to write about later this season, what would you say, who is your number one favorite story?
The one I'm going to talk about first is probably my favorite story.
Okay. And just
my favorite. The one I'm going to talk about first.
Okay, and just give us her name. What's her name? Just her name.
Nope. But I'll tell you, she was a beauty queen.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. So we'll hear that one. August will be writing that one up. And folks, so the show's going to be a little bit different than it has been. For those of you who've been listening to the show for the last couple of years, you know I would normally write them. And when we first started, Jamie would write them. And then when Jamie left, I was writing them. Where we're going to get back to me taking turns with my co-hosts writing these things. But also, these guys will be surprising me with some of their favorites and bringing the stories to life. And I get a chance to react to the craziness that I know these two are going to bring. Ray, who's your favorite?
Well, you know I love a good domestical. So I love when a woman goes off and she just killing everybody in the house. You know, those are my favorites, okay?
I love that you call it a good domestical.
I do. I don't like the random stuff. I love a jilted woman, okay?
And they're all jilted women, which cracks me up.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, isn't it easy to get a divorce? Do you have to put arsenic in my Kool-Aid? Like,
I love Tina Turner. If she had murdered Ike before they divorced, I would have dressed as her for Halloween. Okay, I'm telling you right now. Okay, if she had killed Ike, that would have been the story of the century.
Hey, look, I just looking at Ray with his sparkly cowboy hat on and the Barbie doll house behind, reminded me to say something I forgot to say. We will be dropping the video version of this each week on YouTube as well. So if you want to see what everybody's looking like each week, and I got to tell you something, Ray couldn't decide between the cowboy hat and this I want to say the Samuel Jackson from Pulp Fiction wig. So he settled on the cowboy hat as he scrolled. He's about to change up.
Which one y'all want?
The hat. Because you look like you got to think, what I got high, because I got high.
What a god.
Because I got high.
Either one, Ray. Either one. So yeah, you guys can check that out. Sidney Smith Creative on YouTube. Go ahead and check out the channel there, and you'll be able to find us. All right. First thing I want to talk about, and we made a list of stuff we wanted to chat about, but I wanted to give some credit when credit is due with Ray Earl doing the Mic Drop Comedy Club contest last week. What, Ray? You came in second?
I came in 0. Okay, but
it's not 0. You got to come in second.
I did, but I did before I left the stage. I got a feature spot coming up next week.
That's what's up.
Yes,
Okay.
before I left the stage. Okay, so they weren't ready to get rid of me just yet. Okay, and I got something special for them at Mic Drop for Black Irish Show. Okay.
There you go. All right, there you go. August, you were saying something. What were you saying?
Not that just because you didn't win doesn't mean you didn't win.
Well, Ray and I are both from Detroit, so we think the same way. If you didn't win, you didn't win. You can come in super close in second place and still just leave angry. Be very, very upset.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't roll through a Wendy's and get me some chicken nuggets on the way home, okay? But I felt better, okay?
Wendy's chicken nuggets leave me so unsatisfied. I think they're so disgusting.
Oof. Ooh,
I
love
have
that processed meat and MSG.
I have a question.
What?
That processed meat and MSG.
What'd you say, August?
All right, I have a question. Remember, I had an issue this week. Is a bad DJ a deal breaker in a situation?
Is a bad. You know what?
How do we go from chicken nuggets to blowjobs? But I'm gonna tell you, you're right. You're right. It is a deal breaker. Okay.
I want everybody to know that we had a pre-show meeting where we discussed what we were talking about, and never did August say anything. No, you can throw it on the table. That's fine. We can talk about it. I just found it amusing. You didn't bring the shit up at all.
We went from Chris Rock,
yes,
Chris Rock comedy contest, and now we about blowjobs. But okay, let's get into it. Let's unpack it.
I would say for me, and Ray and I are on two different planes right now because I'm in a marriage, but I would say when I was out,
you got to clarify with a woman.
Yes, with a woman. But I would say when I was out in these streets like Ray, yes, a bad blowjob would disqualify you immediately. But I will say now, it depends on. But no, it depends on how much I care for the person. If I liked her a lot, and she's willing to get better, then we can work with it. But if you're not, if you think what you're doing is good, then I can't help you.
Ray, we gonna move on. Okay.
Ray, you out. So if you
I'm out. I'm tapping out. I'm too old to learn. Okay, we gotta find someone whose resume is verified. Okay, we just not gonna. I'm just not. I just don't have time for it. Okay. You got to know what you're doing. Okay, and if it's two men,
I like the clean plate.
You got to.
I like the clean plate.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that. No.
What is it? I'm sorry. What did August say?
I like to clean the plate.
Oh
I like to get all of it, get everything.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Hold on a stuff. Let me get off of this.
You started this one, girl. Okay, we're gonna continue.
I like to get all of this.
You like to get everything. You like to get everything out? Is that what you're saying?
No, you get everything. Everything that's down there.
Ray, I love that she brought this up, but all of a sudden she's too shy to talk about it.
Cause see, she got children. Okay. I got Ken sitting right here. Okay, he done hurt and sick it all. Okay.
No doubt. I got to come over to your house so I can come over there and see that Ken dog because he looks scarred. Sucked in a corner.
I will tell you though, I donated some Barbies to another friend, and let's just say, yes, okay, that led to an evening.
You wait a minute. You donating Barbies to another friend led to an evening. How did that? How does that lead to an evening?
Because I knew what was up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So the Barbie was just an excuse to go over.
Yes. Yes.
Can I borrow some sugar?
Yeah. Can you borrow some sugar? Okay.
Can I borrow some sugar?
Hilarious, hilarious.
Then Barbie synced me through that evening. Okay.
Before
I
we,
told you, Sidney, it's gonna be good.
oh, I know this is what I wanted. That's why look. That's why I got the cocoa butter twins on here. I knew this was gonna be good. So I'm so enjoying it and looking forward to doing this podcast with it to you. I did want to ask you guys this because we have not talked about this at all together. You guys didn't see Chris Rock's special, so full disclosure for the audience, I did. I'm a big Chris Rock fan. That's who I modeled myself after when I first started doing comedy. He's still who I look up to now. One of the great things for me seeing this special was because I saw him when he was here in Phoenix in June. And then I saw him when he came back with Dave, I want to say in September of October. So I got to see that set go from there to there and then get to see it as a special. And as comics, you guys understand when you get to see one another or see comics working that material out and figuring that set out. So it was great to see one of the greatest of all time do it. I never had that opportunity. So I loved it. But I wanted to talk about the Will and Jada part because even if you've never seen the special, you heard enough and you know what the fuck happened. I found him to be a lot more emotional during the special on Netflix when he talked about it than he was the previous 2 times I saw him. He really didn't go in calling Jada a bitch as much as he did Saturday night. That was not present. I mean, I think he called Jada Pinkett a bitch 6 or 7 times. Like he was on one. Went in on Will Smith calling him a bitch over and over and over again. He didn't do that the previous times I saw him. Talking about how everybody called him a bitch. Charlemagne, The Breakfast Club, 50, just working his way down. And I saw a lot of people afterwards saying he went overboard with it. A lot of females on Twitter, a lot of female journalists trying to come to the rescue of Jada, whether it be the fact that he called her a bitch or because she has alopecia, which, get the fuck out of here. That's not a real disease. All right, and the bitch been bald since we seen it. The only time you ain't never seen her bald was on It's a Different World and Set It Off. Other than that, the bitch been bald every day you ain't seen her.
Off and on every now and then.
Yeah. So fuck this alopecia shit. Do you guys feel at a certain point she had this coming, or do you think he maybe went overboard given what happened almost a year ago? The Oscars is next week. I want to hear from you two. As a black male comic and as a black female comic, what do you guys think? And Ray, if you could go first with it.
I'm going to say this. I didn't see the special, but as a comedian, as a black gay male comedian, I believe there is nothing off topic. Okay? And you know what? If it was funny and if it was at her expense, she done put everything about their relationship on that red top table or whatever, okay? So whatever he said can never top what she done said about her own relationship on that TV, okay?
Yeah. And Chris talked about that. Again, you guys didn't see it, so I don't mean to step on you, but I want you to know. Chris talked about that. Chris said, here you are. He said, who the fuck, and I don't want to chop up this man's joke, but he said, who the fuck? He said, we all been cheated on. Everybody in this room been cheated on. But nobody has sat down with the person who cheated on you and did an interview. Like, yeah, I sucked another motherfucker's dick. How do you feel about it? You know, it's so... What's that, August?
She didn't cheat on him. He only had an entanglement.
Entanglement.
Well,
you know, that reminds me of The Color Purple. You know, when he said, you know, it's not, Celie, you has my sympathy, okay? Because not every woman allows their husbands to hold a layup in their house, okay?
I forgot about that. That's a good.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
good.
Has my
sympathy. So
I read, I'm paraphrasing, where a woman was trying to excuse and protect Jada. She said, It was a tweet actually, and I'm paraphrasing it a little as best I can. I don't know why he wasted time talking about that. We all knew they had an open relationship. And the only thing that flashed in my mind after I read that, two things. One, you must be crazy and didn't see the Red Table Talk interview because Will looked so hurt. I mean, if you've never seen a grown man look heartbroken, I don't know if they didn't have a pre-show meeting. He looked like he had no idea she was getting ready to deliver that news to him. August, do you agree?
I absolutely agree. And I'm definitely on Chris Rock's side and also Will Smith's side because wait, is it my turn to
Yeah, no, go ahead.
get
That's why I
into it
threw it
now?
to you. That's why I threw it to you. Go ahead.
So because for one, Will Jada does not love Will. I'm sorry, because that's not how you let the person move. You're supposed to compliment your partner. You're not supposed to get your partner on TV and talk about y'all's mess, how you slept with your son's friend, and said it was an entanglement. He was like, "You mean an affair?" Like, don't embarrass. For what? That is Will Smith. You out here embarrassing Will Smith? That's why he is still in the principal's office a year later because he's still with us. Now, the minute he kicks her to the curb, he can come on back to the barbecue because we still love him. We don't like what happened, but we understand that that slap again wasn't for Chris Rock. That was for everybody else, and especially her. I don't like her with hair, without hair, GoFundMe, alopecia, Alisa, Bopalisa. I don't like her at all because you are playing my man, and I can't even get Hancock too because there's all this little crap going on. It's going to be a Hancock too.
Look,
Will
So
Smith looked like he found out about the open relationship at that Red Table Talk. Okay.
Okay. Thank
What
you.
you mean
And I was
be
like,
open?
and then you have her talking about how she still loves Tupac and doesn't love her. I ain't never saw them not one time together like that. He wasn't on the red carpet with her like that. He was with that Khadija Ali or whatever that girl's name is now. I don't know. Tupac ain't had no cheering, but her kids, oh, I love Tupac. I'm like, man,
We only
how's
ever
it?
saw them. We only ever saw them together on A Different World. That was it. When he was
I didn't see
Paco.
that. I saw
That
that
was
picture
it.
when they
you made a great point.
but
Uh,
you are
you
go ahead.
made a great point, August, when you said we will let him come back to the barbecue when he drops her, because it made me think about years ago when I was going to marry this other woman because we'd been together for so long and we were off and on for like 8 years, and she and I, you off and on for 8 years. There's a reason for it. My family didn't like her. Nobody liked her, but I thought I was in love with this woman. And when I said, okay, I'm going to marry her, I sat down with myself and I said, if I marry this woman, I can't complain about this woman because don't nobody want to hear this shit. And I think Will is kind of in that same position now. You can't say shit about Jada. Nobody want to hear you complain about Jada. This girl just embarrassed you in front of the whole world and you still with her. So don't come to the barbecue. Don't call. Don't complain because if you're going to be with her, then you got to be with her. And that's what he has chosen to do for almost 30 years now, for whatever reason. Ray, like you get ready to say something.
I think he should be with me alone.
Soon as you said, I can never complain about this woman, that's when you gotta be like, oh, I'm done. Okay.
Wow,
That's over. That's a deal breaker right there.
You're right. You're right.
As soon as you talk around saying, well, I can never complain about her, nigga, it's time to go. Okay?
It is. You're right.
Yes.
You're right. And that was
You beat me before I got married too. I can't complain about it after we're married. So yeah, I get it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Ray, we were talking before you took your trip, and then we were talking a little bit in our pre-show. You had an interesting. First of all, I can't go to Vegas for one day. I love Vegas too much to go for one day. I got to go for at least 3 or 4 days, get all my Vegas time in, and then come on home. So I was amazed you did it for one day. But you went for one day and had kind of a circumstances out there that you were trying to explain to me as a straight man who has never really dealt with. I was a little confused by it. Sir, could you share?
So what I had explained to Sidney on Friday is I was going out there to visit some people whom I know, and they're married, but they also have boyfriends. And he said, oh, you mean they got each one on the side? I said, no, they're together. So they each have their own one? I said, no. And so Sidney was like, huh? I was like, it's, two girls in one cup? Well, it's one bed and 4 dicks. Okay, that's the only way I can explain it. Okay, one bed and 4 dicks. It's all this. Okay, it's all this. Okay. I chose to get my own hotel room because all that clapping at night is just gonna keep me up. Okay, and I needs my sleep. Okay. No, it's just not gonna work for me. Okay. It's only so much a king size bed can do. Okay, so I chose to stay at the Strat.
So let me ask a question. Did they really stay in one room, the 4 of them?
Okay, so we all went together to, oh God. Anyway, we all went to Puerto Vallarta. And I had my own room. And they all had their own room and one bed. And they all slept together. Now, I've had maybe 3 or 4 overnight guests in my 41 years here on this earth. And I'm going to tell you right now, I need my own space and my own bed. 3 other motherfuckers, it just ain't going to work for me. Okay? I get too hot. I got sleep apnea. I got my CPAP machine. That ain't sexy. I'm sitting over there talking about, can you put some water in my CPAP machine for me? Okay. You can't sleep in the middle when you got your CPAP machine on, because then you away from the plug that's going to turn off in the middle of the night. Who going to roll you over and turn you over so you can breathe at night? Okay.
Right. You make a great point, because when you have like overnight shit with somebody, there's no sexy way to do some shit. Like, there's no sexy way to go take a shit in that bathroom that y'all sharing in the hotel room. Ain't no sexy way to do that. Like you said, the mask. Ain't no nothing. None of
you
that.
just sit there going.
I always dreaded staying in a hotel room with someone I wasn't together with, because if you go in that bathroom and wreck it, that's gonna ruin the whole weekend for me. So I never, unless I was in a tight situation with a woman, never stayed. No.
What I have learned. What I have learned is you go to the bathroom from number 1 and shower. And if you got to blow it out, you go to the lobby. Okay? That's how you maintain a friendship. Okay? Or you do something like this. I gotta go to Starbucks real quick. Okay? That's what you say. I gotta go to Starbucks. Okay? You get the espresso and you go, girl, can I get the code? Okay? Because I tell you, that Motel 6 in Palm Springs don't have a lobby bathroom, but it's a Starbucks right next door. Okay?
And wait a minute. What about when you get what about if you're not back in our younger days when we couldn't afford a nice hotel room, when you did stay at the Motel 6? Like, there's no quiet way to go in and do it when they got that loud ass fan. When you
I stayed at the Motel 6 3 months ago.
Oh, no,
okay?
Not me.
Oh, no, sir. You think the Motel 6 in Palm Springs is cute? Okay. No, it is not. Okay. It is not.
I would have told you it's not. What are you going to say, August?
I forgot now.
What's in that cup? I forgot now. Look, you talking about I would have thought the Motel 6 in Palm Springs was cute. Why would you think it was cute? It's the Motel 6.
It was not.
Look,
it was not.
I went to Tucson to do a show. I went to Tucson a few years back to do a show. My wife went with me, and a relative through in-laws wanted to hook us up, and they worked at the Motel 6. So they wanted to get us a room down at Tucson, and I wanted to be nice, and I said, okay, well, fine, we'll take the room. So we go down there, and Ray, I knew right away this is not going to be the situation, because when we pulled up, there were people sitting outside the room, like this is where they live. They were sitting on the porch, like they got mail there. So I knew right away what type of Motel 6. What's that, August?
extended sweet.
She making her a cocktail.
I see her. For people out there listening to the podcast, August stepped away. We can see her. She's pouring some Smirnoff vodka with some cranberry juice, it looks like.
Now, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
We went to a family reunion in Mississippi.
Mississippi.
The family down south booked us a room at the southern end.
The hell is that?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. It looked like some of those murder podcasts happened in that room. Okay. We went to the bathroom. It was a pair of dirty drawers hanging out the ceiling in the.
Wow.
Now we bougie from Detroit, and we said, "Oh, we can't stay here."
Absolutely not. I went into that room, Ray, and I went to take a shower. My shoulders were hitting the sides. while I was I had to turn sideways and step sideways into this bed.
This was Sidney in the shower. Lord,
you don't know. You tell the truth. So, if you know me, I like to iron before anything. And so I would look for the ironing board. There was no ironing board. So I called down to the lobby. I said, "Hey, can I get an ironing board?" The person on the other end said they broke it. I said, "Wait a minute. Now, what did you say?" She said, "They broke it."
What?
I said, "Right." I said, "Did you say they broke it? Like there was just one?" she said, "Yeah, we just had one that we passed around the rooms."
If this ain't the sisterhood of the traveling ironing board, okay. I bet you ain't no steam on that iron. It was a Proctor Select. I know it. I know that iron. Okay.
Look.
I don't even have it.
The wife ran out and got me a travel ironing board and iron while I was getting ready so I could iron my clothes before this show. But when you said they broke it, that's all right.
And I know you was, I've seen those travel irons. I know you was working that motherfucker too. Okay?
Look,
you got sweaty. You had to take another shower. Okay? After you got done ironing.
Come on, Ray. You got to do this shit.
Okay. Oh, Lord. I'm never going to make it to the shower. Okay? Still showering. Okay? Baby, you done with them jeans. Okay?
That's what August going to look like when she takes this birthday trip.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Is that what I'm going to look like? I'm going to get in the ocean and watch my pictures. I'm going to get in the ocean.
And do what? Get in the ocean and do what?
Watch my pictures.
You going to get closer?
I'm going to jump in the water.
You going to get arrested. It sounds like you're getting arrested. That's what it sounds like you're going to be doing. Before we get into our story.
So we're stopping at the DR.
Before we jump into our story, August, you got shows coming out, don't you? So what you got coming?
I got shows in different areas, codes. Okay. Is he crazy? Or y'all just staring at the crazy?
No, we just staring at your crazy ass. What's your show? You got Stir Crazy, right?
Yeah. Stir Crazy on March 31st and April 1st. And then April 14th, I'm featuring at Buddapalooza. It's a weed festival or something. I was like, well, I don't partake, but I'll be there.
All right. Well, you guys want to see August O'Neill? She's super dope, super funny. So is Ray. But August is coming up at Stir Crazy here in the Valley. So if you're in the Valley, get those tickets. Go to stircrazy.com. She will be over there March 31st. Check her out. All right. I'm looking forward to this. All right, let's jump into this story here. Again, thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you dug our banner because I think we did it for about 30 minutes. so that's about right. So hopefully you guys dug it. Thank you guys for being here. Again, Murderess Podcast. Share it. Subscribe. All that good stuff. You guys know what to do. First story in season 3. Stephanie Eileen Lazarus is a former Los Angeles police detective who was convicted in March 2012 of the 1986 first-degree murder of her ex-boyfriend's new wife, Sherry Rasmussen. Lazarus is serving a 27-year to life sentence for the offense at the Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla, California. Her case made national headlines. I found this one really interesting. And normally I do not read what the result was off the top, but I thought what the fuck? Because this is still pretty good once you dig into the story, because she's a former cop who committed this murder. In 1986, Sherry Rasmussen was 29 years old, living in a condominium with her new husband of 3 months, John Rudin. In a few short minutes, though, her new charmed life ended in a vicious, brutal murder that would go unsolved for over 20 years. On the night of February 24th, her husband came home to discover his new bride, who had stayed home from work that day after injuring her back during aerobics, bloodied, beaten, and dead from numerous gunshot wounds to the chest. But with the help of advancing technology, the Los Angeles Police Department's Cold Case Squad cracked a case as dramatic as any on television. After running a DNA test on the bite mark on Rasmussen's body, they confronted a new and shocking likelihood the perpetrator was one of their own, Officer Stephanie Lazarus. At the time of Rasmussen's murder, I'm sorry, go ahead, August. You say something?
No, I just said, thank you.
At the time of Rasmussen's murder, Lazarus had only been on the force for 2 years as a patrol officer. In the course of her career, she became involved with the Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program, which, if you are anywhere close to 40, you remember as the fucking DARE program.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were shoving that down our throats as we was kids. I remember that. So she was part of the DARE program as a training officer and visited her former junior high school. She served as a treasurer for the Los Angeles Women Police Officers Association for 5 years. She helped fundraise to provide reliable, round-the-clock child care for parents who worked on the force. At one point, she'd even started her own private investigation company, Unique Investigations. After 20 years on the force, she'd been promoted to the high-profile, high-stakes art theft detail, which tracked stolen art and art forgeries. In April 2009, she was featured with the head of her department, Don Hayek, in LA Weekly's annual LA People issue. She told the paper that the working the art beat inspired her to become an artist and had been taking oil painting classes. But in 1986, she was working the streets. She had also just come out of a long-term relationship with John Rudin, and it seems she was none too pleased with his new wife. Investigators had focused on the possibility that the crime had been a robbery. Sherry Ray's car had been stolen. The silver BMW was discovered 2 miles from the couple's house 10 days after the murder. Because stereo equipment had been stacked next to the body, police fixated on the possibility of a botched robbery. Their hunch was reinforced by the events that occurred just after the Rasmussen murder. A few days after the slaying, 2 men had robbed a woman at gunpoint. A few months after the murder, they held another unsuspecting woman at gunpoint after she walked into a break-in. Her house was just a few blocks from Rasmussen's house. They were described as Latinos between 5 feet 4 inches and 5 feet 6 inches tall. It's surprising they weren't black people that they they said it was, but they went with the Latinos this time.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, I'm gonna say you can jump in anytime, Ray.
I'm gonna say this. You know, as someone who's been on the force and had a private investigation firm for all those years, how did she allow herself to get caught? All she had to do was hide and get rid of all that evidence. Okay. Now, what did that girl do to her? Stole her man?
And most cops think.
What'd you say?
Oh, okay. Here's my question. My question, Sidney.
Yeah.
How long after she broke up with that guy did he marry someone else?
Oh, we gonna get there. Oh, we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
Ooh.
They therefore.
It might have been worth that murder. Go ahead. Okay.
They therefore emerged as the primary suspects in Rasmussen's death. The Latinos did, but they were never found. Other than the car, the only other object taken from the scene should have given investigators pause. The couple's marriage license was missing.
Wait. Here's my Bertie Mac face.
He was teasing
now, I'll be honest.
me. You can tell that joke today.
I have fallen asleep to a lot of murder documentaries over these last few years.
Yeah.
I have never seen a woman bite another woman. Okay, never. It's always been a man bite a woman. I ain't never seen another woman.
And,
that bitch was pissed. Okay, she was like, I'm
and
just not gonna
like,
kill you, bitch. Okay, I'm gonna bite you, bitch. Okay.
Also undermining the random theft theory were the deep bite marks left by the assailant on Rasmussen's arm. After months of a stalemate in the case, Rasmussen's parents began holding press conferences asking for people to come forward with clues and offered a $10,000 reward. During the initial investigation, Lazarus was only a blip on the radar screen. Despite repeated pleas from Rasmussen's father, Nels Rasmussen, for the LAPD to consider that Rasmussen and Lazarus had both dated John Rudin, and that Lazarus had turned up at the Glendale Adventist Hospital, where Rasmussen worked as a critical care nurse, and allegedly threatened her, quote, "If I can't have John, nobody else will," close quote.
bitch, didn't I tell you? Fuck you.
How did they not close the case in 86?
She was the cop. Don't forget she was the cop.
Cops are crazy. Look, I did things
what was she doing
when I was in my uniform.
What was she doing in the investigation? What was she doing during the investigation? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I swear. And it was like, okay, it was 86.
Another confrontation had occurred a month before the murder, her father recounted. When Rasmussen had arrived home, she found Lazarus waiting for her inside the house. She was wearing her uniform, and just a few days before the murder, Lazarus had allegedly called Rasmussen and threatened her. Rasmussen had told her father that she thought the officer had been stalking her on the streets. You thought? She's in the house.
See? That's why I'm like, this did not test you.
I'm going to say this. If she doing all that in her work uniform, now I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond. You're not going to ever catch me doing no murders in my uniform. Okay? Now, he must have had some good, murder dick? Okay, that must have been some. Okay. If the dick make you go to her house in your uniform, okay, you get in the house. And you get in the house.
Wait a minute. Ray said that's a murder dick. That's a murder dick.
That one.
If your dick is gonna make you kill somebody, if it's gonna make me kill somebody, I don't want it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't want. A comedian said it. A comedian said, I can't remember who it was, but I want to give them credit. They said, I don't want no good dick. Okay, I want regular dick. Okay, some average dick. Okay, but he was talking about pussy.
What you say, August?
Just give me somebody average that works part time. I ain't got to kill nobody. None of that. We got a CDL every now and then. I wasn't about no CDL. That was good.
I know you will. At the time, Mr. Rasmussen. Go ahead, August.
I was gonna say, but I did confront someone when I worked at the police department, and I was in my uniform, and I went to the bitch's house because I was engaged to be married, and I had a month. It was a month away, and I went to the house like, bitch, what you think? I was that girl. So I'm supposed to get married.
Hold on now. Wait a minute. So was the fiance actually messing with this chick, or was this a one-way street type of shit?
Now he was with her, and her. I couldn't go to everybody's house, so I went to the first one's house.
And let the word spread.
And they said, and then I got the phone call because someone said, "Hey, the police was at your house today." The word spread that the police was at the house because I was in my outfit. And I wasn't
in your outfit. You was in your uniform. It wasn't no damn outfit.
She put the bitch's address in MapQuest. He's like, this one's closest. Okay.
Right. She gonna say she was in the outfit like she rented the uniform. No, motherfucker, you was in your uniform.
You left work. Okay.
It looked like a police uniform. And then her boyfriend came to the house because he didn't know she was fucking on him. See how shit worked out, and she got her ass whooped.
Oh, he jacked her.
Things are busy, man.
Oh, he jacked her. He messed her up.
I had to do nothing. But the word was out. On the
Ray's face.
You know what? We can only hope to be loved that hard. Okay.
Ray, I've been loved that hard, and I don't want it anymore.
I have
I
never
won't do that again.
experienced that kind of love. Okay. I mean, but I stay strapped now, just in case. Okay.
But I don't think it was so much no love as it was embarrassment. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like you're embarrassed. Like I have this stuff going on for myself, and I'm up here, and you still messing with these old scallywags down here. So why am I choosing you? And this is embarrassing to me because you choosing that.
Right.
So you went to the girl's
for
house.
him. Yeah, it was more for him. It was more quantity over quality. And I was like, oh, bitch, you got me fucked up because I don't know who you think you're dealing with. I'm not that girl. I'll put my hands on you.
So Judge Judy said, I don't understand why the girls always fighting other girls. Okay. You got to go to the man house.
The girls know too. I did them too. The girls also get it. Everybody get it. That was old August. New August is all nice and sweet.
Okay.
First of all, August, I got a pass too, and there's no such thing as the old Sidney. It's just the Sidney just sits. He's in the back seat right now. You don't want old Sidney to drive. Let new Sidney drive.
Sitting on ready.
It's all the time.
The more emotionally mature August says, okay, you do what you do. I'm going about my business.
I had a conversation with a friend. I'm gonna get back to the story for folks out there who want me to get back to it. I'm gonna get back to it. But I had to talk to a friend recently. He'd upset me, and he and I had a heart to heart. And I told him, I said, let me explain something to you. I said, you don't understand. My default setting is mean. The next setting next to that is punch you in the mouth. So when you see this other side of me, this is because I've developed enough love for you not to be in those settings. Please don't make me go back to my default setting. Mm-hmm. And so that's just how I get down. But that's how a lot of people are. And people out here don't know that about people. Like, I know, look at Ray. I can look at Ray's eyes and see Ray's probably set a house on fire before.
Okay.
You know, I never have. But, you know, it's in my bloodline. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Because
I know where you're from.
I have an aunt who done shot out a few windows before. You know, my mama, stabbed my aunt in the head back in 71. Okay, so, it's in my bloodline. You know, it lays dormant most of the time. Okay, and that's probably why I've never been in love, because I don't want to be that jealous. Okay.
But you know what, Ray? That's why one thing that I think people should do for themselves, and I will say in August as well. I think August and I had this conversation actually not too long ago. Is give yourself the gift of self-awareness. Mm-hmm. Be self-aware. That's why I married the woman I married. Tamara is very low-key. She's non-confrontational, so on and so forth. That's the type of person I know I needed to be with. Because I've been with the opposite, where the only thing that she didn't have that I did have was a dick. And outside of that, we were the same motherfucking person. Mm-hmm. And that never works. And so I figured I need to be with somebody.
You know, I would really hate to see Sidney come to a show with a black guy and be like, what happened? What you did? What's going on? Okay.
I had a woman years ago, Ray, run up on me. She was 5 foot tall and try to put her forearm in my neck. She was trying to pin me up in the corner of a room. I'm dead serious. I'm trying to give you one of those. Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about your moms and your auntie. This is the only woman to this day that I know, and I know some ratchet ones. Mm-hmm. But she's the only one I know who hit her own aunt in the head with a brick.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so we were together for a couple of years, but that wasn't right either. We were young, so we definitely weren't mature enough. But yeah, can't do it. So get back to the story here. So we go back a paragraph. So another confrontation had occurred. We talked about that. This is when Stephanie Lazarus had been found in the home of the victim. And the victim had told her family about this before she had been murdered and thought that Rasmussen had been stalking her. So at the time, Lazarus had been stalking her. At the time Mr. Rasmussen's allegations were dismissed, he was told to stop watching so much television. He wrote letters to the head of the police department, and I think this will make sense, especially if you are black and listening to this podcast. He wrote letters to the head of the police department at the time, Chief Daryl Gates. If you don't know, Chief Daryl Gates was the chief of the LA department when there was more corruption, more police corruption happening in the LA proper than had ever been known before. Good. What's that, August?
So everything was going down during that time.
Absolutely. His pleas for the department to take a second look at the case went unheeded. And after 5 years, he was trying to talk to these people. Now, keep in mind, this cop had been doing this for 5 years to his daughter, and nobody ever paid attention to it. So he gave up.
Why did he ever file a restraining order? This is what I don't understand.
Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, so this all started in 81 and led up to 86.
Bingo.
Ooh.
He should have filed a restraining order. If I didn't hear her attempt to file a restraining order.
Well, you know, back then, stalking wasn't much. Stalking back then wasn't very much of a crime back then. You know, they didn't really care about stalking too much until motherfuckers started to deal.
You can't get a cop in trouble for unless you get a cop today in 2023 on camera. You can't get that motherfucker in trouble for nothing.
Even
then. So
but that ain't what happened.
So, did you guys see? I saw a headline. I didn't read the article today. I think I saw, if I'm remembering correctly, 12 cops and medical professionals are being fired because of the Mr. Nichols murder.
You know why?
Harvey Nichols?
Yes.
You know why?
Why?
Because they were black. The cops were.
So they're gonna make an example of all of you.
But I'll say this: when you're wearing that blue uniform and you're a cop, we don't see you as black. We don't see you as black. Yeah, you're a cop. Mr. Rasmussen's reports had been dismissed as products of viewing too much crime fiction. But the discovery that led to the new charges against Lazarus would have been perfect for an episode of Law and Order. In February of 2009, the Cold Case Squad, with time on its hands due to the dwindling number of murders in the area, reopened some additional old cases. Investigators ran the DNA test on all the old evidence, including the bite marks on Rasmussen's body. The DNA testing revealed that the suspect had to be a woman, disposing of the linkage to the other robberies. At the time of the initial investigation, Lazarus had been on duty. What am I reading here? I think there's a typo here. Had been interviewed but never pursued as a likely suspect. So they did talk to her 20 plus years prior, but the DNA testing obviously never followed up on anything. Hell, I don't know if they had it back then. Did they have it? Maybe they didn't have it.
They didn't have the DNA. They could tell blood type.
Yeah.
They could tell blood type, but not the DNA. Now, when you say they have evidence and they suggested that it had to be a woman, was it because she had a little mouth? Is that why? Did she have like a little bite mark on the body? Was it a narrow mouth? Okay, or did she have a big? I don't know. August, how big is your mouth? Okay, is it a little woman mouth? Okay,
no. You know damn well August ain't got no little mouth.
And I got a little ear too.
Have you seen her eat? Have you seen her eat?
Oh, we gotten crab legs before.
Have you seen what?
Have you seen you eat?
Shut your ass up, man.
The LAPD officers working the case were now faced with an uncomfortable prospect. A person who worked literally next door, because Lazarus department and the cold case department were situated across the hall from each other. She was now their prime suspect. Little did Rasmussen's know LAPD cold case investigators had quietly reopened Sherry's case and had found that the bite mark on her arm contained the DNA. In 2008, a detective called Nails with the news. I was ecstatic, Nails told Maureen Mayer. I told Loretta, we're going to get it solved. Nails says for the first time in 2 decades, a detective from the LAPD finally listened to him that he believed an LAPD cop had murdered his daughter. 20 years he'd been waiting to hear this. Quote, he said.
I probably would have killed her by then.
Excuse me, what's that?
I probably would have killed her myself by then. I probably would have killed her by then.
That's one thing. If I have a strong suspicion and I know who did it, I don't think I would wait that. Okay.
I'm with y'all. I think I'm with y'all on that. But I think all three of us are crazy.
Uh-huh.
So I think I'm with y'all on that.
I just started dating somebody. Please don't say that.
Like I said, I'm not the best shot, but I got 2 clips. Okay. And I'm going to avenge my daughter. Okay. I'm going to avenge my daughter.
So he said, if we get the DNA and it doesn't match, we're back to base 1. And I say, you don't have to worry about that. You get the DNA and you got yourself an arrest. So that was the conversation between the detective and the father of the murder victim. The new detectives immediately started trailing Detective Stephanie Lazarus. At the point they found out that Stephanie Lazarus could be one of the suspects, the next step they have to get a surreptitious, I know I'm tripping on myself, a surreptitious DNA sample, reported Andrew Blankstein explained. That'd been right around when Jamie would have been picking on me right there. To get a sample of Stephanie's DNA, detectives secretly followed her to a local retail outlet where she discarded a cup and a straw. Detectives then quickly collected the evidence and the samples were sent to a lab. That's some straight out of some television shit right there.
What? The piece of her DNA. Walking back to the office, they like, hey, girl, hey. You right there. It's the piece of her. You don't want it for it. You ain't got to do all that sneaking around.
I think they wanted. I think they wanted to make sure they did it right and did it quietly, especially when you were a cop looking at another cop. The results of the DNA test were stunning. The DNA from the bite mark pointed directly at Lazarus. The test indicated there was a 1.7 sextillion to 1 chance that the DNA belonged to someone other than Stephanie Lazarus. That's 17 followed by 20 zeros.
Is there even that many people in the world? I mean,
that lets you know. there's not a chance in hell.
Okay, they ain't nobody. I mean, they would have had to go to hell to get some more people to make that number up.
It came back. What'd you say, August?
Like it says, you are the father.
Oh yeah,
that's right, Springer.
Yes.
It came back, and it was exactly who I'd been pointing to for 23 years. Nell said, getting emotional. I never felt so good in my life. As soon as the match was made, a team of more than a dozen LAPD officers secretly planned Lazarus' arrest. The question was, how are they going to make an arrest of an LAPD officer without tipping that officer off, said Blankenstein. It was a covert operation with an intense degree of risk. In fact, Detective Lazarus worked directly across the hall. Reporter Joe Rubin describes it as an incredibly trying situation. The idea of arresting a cop for murder is a pretty dramatic event and doesn't happen very often, almost never. While plotting Lazarus' arrest, what's up, August?
I'm like, just imagine you across the hall and them niggas staring at you like.
I'm sorry, is there something on my shirt? I got some ketchup on me? What's going on? While plotting Lazarus' arrest, detectives feared she might be wearing her service weapon. Rubin explains they came up with a plan to disarm her that began with a visit from a fellow detective. She is approached by a colleague who says, hey, I just got word that over the weekend an arrest was made. This person is telling us that they have information about one of the cases you're working. Within minutes, Stephanie made her way down toward the jail, where she thought the suspect was waiting. If the detective was armed, she would have to remove her weapon before interviewing the suspect. She walks through the security point. At which point she's confronted by robbery homicide detectives who say, Stephanie, we need to talk to you. Unarmed and unaware that she is a suspect, Lazarus sits down in front of a hidden camera, still thinking the subject they need to talk about is art theft, but not for long. Detective, do you know John Rutan? Stephanie, yeah, I mean, we dated, What is this all about? The detective, well, it's relating to his wife. Stephanie, okay. The detective, did you know her? Stephanie, not really. The detective, did you ever meet her? Stephanie, I don't know. So, she's bad at being a suspect. The detective, you dated John. How long did you guys date? Stephanie, I mean, why are you guys, is this something? I mean, you said it was going to be an interview about art. Stephanie, I don't understand why you're talking about some guy I dated a million years ago. The detective, well, do you know what happened to his wife? Stephanie, yeah, I know she got killed. Detectives continue to circle to the back of the subject. Had you ever met his wife? The detective, well, one of the concerns I had as we're looking at some of the notes is some of Sherry's friends say that you and her were having a problem because of the John situation, and words were being exchanged. And it's all relating to John. Stephanie, you know what? I just can't say. The detective, you can't say? Detective, or Stephanie, no. That doesn't even ring a bell. Finally, an hour into the interrogation, detectives get down to the tough questions. The detective, did you ever fight with her? Stephanie, you mean like we fought? Detective, did you ever duke it out with her? Stephanie, no, I don't think so. The detective, you'd remember that, right? Stephanie, yeah, I would think so. By now, there's no doubt what's really going on. Stephanie, I mean, if you guys are claiming I'm a suspect, then you know I got a problem with that. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that somebody would blame me, saying that I did this. I mean, we had a fight, and so I went and killed her? I mean, come on. Detective Lazarus walks out only to be arrested and handcuffed. She was brought back and read her Miranda rights, those faithful words she knows all too well. I wanted to scroll back up and get your thoughts just on that back and forth there that I read. Ray, what were your thoughts on it?
My thoughts were when she walked into the room expecting to see some suspects and there was no one in there. What that would have been the first thing on my mind. Like, where is he? And then I would have pulled up, do you know this suspect? And would have pulled up a mirror and put it right in her face. Okay.
Donovan, can you put me your charger?
I'd be like, you bitch, you the suspect. Okay, you know it.
August, you good?
I am, but my phone is overheating and it won't stay charged now.
Oh, okay.
So it went rapidly down to 7%.
All right. We gonna hang in there. You hang in there, August. You can do it. You know what got me was the part.
Donna, bring me your charger, please.
You know what got me was when it said finally, an hour into the interrogation, detectives get down to the tough questions. I'm not sitting talking to no cops for an hour.
Just in the room, please.
No, I'm not doing that for an hour.
Come on.
No. She know what's going on. They know what's going on. Let's get to it. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Now, 15 minutes, I'd be like, you know what? Can I speak to a lawyer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I only bring that up because I always sit and watch those true crime shows, and Another 48, or First 48.
Uh-huh.
I'm always amazed by these people go and sit in the box and never ask for an attorney. They sit down and start answering questions, telling on themselves. Never, ever, 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 never.
I didn't watch enough of these true crime stories. As soon as they put me in that box, I need to speak to an attorney right now. Okay,
absolutely.
Get me a lawyer. Where's Johnny? Okay, give me Johnny Cochran. Okay,
absolutely. It says so on June 5th, 2009, more than 2 decades after Sherry's death, Detective Stephanie Lazarus was charged with the first-degree murder of Sherry Ray Rasmussen, but her defense attorney, Mark Overland, says the state's case against his client is no slam dunk. I'm going to bring August back in. August, you good?
It's no slam dunk.
There you go.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's what he was saying. It was no slam dunk, sir. But that's what he's supposed to say. He's a defense attorney. Ask
Her
if his...
little mouth was on the body. Okay. Her little
That's
teeth
what I was
was on the
Did they
body.
answer that? Because I want to know why she bit her. Did that ever come up? Why did she bite her? Just to prove a point? Like, was that her stamp of approval? Like, what?
Ask if his client is innocent. Overland told Mayor, absolutely. The bottom line is this DNA evidence is flawed. It has been more than 2.5 decades since Rasmussen's daughter, Sherry, was shot dead. Finally, the woman accused of that murder is going on trial. Nels Rasmussen says he is 100% confident that Stephanie Lazarus killed his daughter. Now, once the 49-year-old was arrested, the announcement stunned the police department. One veteran officer told the Los Angeles Times, "Never in my wildest imagination would I ever think she could do something like this. We drank beers. She was always quick to give you a hug or tell a joke. She had been described as bubbly, vivacious in a story about her private investigation firm, Unique Investigations."
I think they too might got away with murder for 20 years.
Hello.
She was
Like, they don't know shit.
Uh-huh.
She was the type who made homemade soups and chocolate-covered cherries to give her neighbors for Christmas. But these people who are nuts who kill people are always this type of person.
Oh, yeah. You'd be like, try my fudge.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's made with the body parts of my last victim. Okay.
But other details about Lazarus began to appear on the internet. She was nicknamed Spaz or Spazarus for her erratic behavior when she became flustered or angry. So she had another side to her that people noticed.
There was a movie with Hilary Swank and Nia Long where Hilary Swank was the police officer who was stalking the husband and everything.
Yeah,
you remember that movie?
Yeah. That's like, that ain't Nia Long. That's
who was the wife?
It's
No, it was
Nia
Nia
Long.
Long.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Nia Long. It was Nia Long.
I remember. Oh yeah, that's right.
What it reminded me of.
Who was it?
It was Nia Long. That's right. Now I remember. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Who played the husband? Wasn't that
Michael Ealy, wasn't it?
Yeah, Michael Ealy played the husband. It was Michael Ealy, I thought.
I'm getting too many of the movies confused. Michael Ealy always plays something crazy. I think
I think it was Michael Ealy because I watched it with my wife and she has a huge crush on Michael Ealy.
You know, that's why, you know what? Don't ever be in a relationship, okay? Just move on to the next one. What? Just keep going, okay?
How'd you get down this road?
Because, I mean, I want to be in love, but I don't want nobody to kill for me. I mean, it sounds good on paper, you know? I want to be in this. Sometimes, I want to be in this. He killed for me, okay?
Okay, ain't nobody worth it to me, sorry. I'm walking away like I have before.
I don't know how we got down this road. All I was saying was my wife had a crush on Michael Ealy.
Every now and then I like to pick. That's me. I like to make a U-turn.
Well, look, my wife and I, we're coming up on our 5th wedding anniversary this week. It's been 5 years we've been married. It's almost 10 years we've been together. And we've been together just dating for a couple of years. And we're sitting on the couch next to each other. And Michael Ealy had a movie coming out. And the commercial comes up. And I hear my wife go,
Oh.
And I turned and looked at her. I said, did you just say, Ray, I never knew she had anything for this man. I said, did you just say, She looked at me. She said, no, I didn't. I said, yes, you did. You just said, She said, no, I didn't. And so I said, I heard you say it. So I said,
it was a little indigestion.
She been better off saying that. And I said to her, I'm going to tell my mama. I'm telling my mama. So I called my mother the next day. I said, do you know what she did? And I told her. My mother said, what? I said, yeah. She saw Michael Ealy and said, She said, you tell that girl I said stay away from my man. I said, wait a minute. What?
You're supposed to be on my side.
Absolutely. She was more concerned with my wife to her man, Michael Ealy. I said, you ain't no good. No good. Neither
Well,
one.
I'm going to have to Google him after this and see whose side I'm on.
You seen Barbershop before?
Barbershop Michael Ealy looks good, but
is he the one with the hazel eyes?
With the what?
Yes.
Is he the one with the hazel eyes?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
then. I'm sorry. I'm on your wife's side. I'm on your mama's side. Okay.
If I love this Mac so much, I throw this pen at the.
Okay. Because I'll be sitting there going, okay.
So stupid. All right, so Nels Rasmussen held a press conference the day of her court appearance and told the press corps what he'd been telling the Los Angeles Police Department all along. The likeliest suspect is one of your own. He recounted for the LA Times numerous attempts he had made to the LAPD to take a closer look at the jealous ex-girlfriend of his daughter's husband. The Rasmussen family attorney said they provided information on the first day that there was a woman who was problematic. Taylor added that the family is extremely pleased and relieved with the arrest of Lazarus. After Lazarus' arrest, new details emerged. One key piece to the puzzle was missing: the gun used to shoot her 3 times in the chest. The LA Times reported that Lazarus had called the Santa Monica Police Department a few weeks after the murder to report that her car had broken into near the Santa Monica Pier. She reported a stolen gym bag, money, clothes, and her .38 caliber handgun. The two departments never put 2 and 2 together. 23 years later, the break-in looks like a cover-up, and police now believe that she ditched the gun in the Pacific Ocean. The scene was more gruesome than originally revealed. Rasmussen's head had been bludgeoned. She had wounds on her wrist that indicated she'd been tied up. A robe laying on the floor nearby had bullet holes in them. It appeared the killer used it to muffle the shots. And the slaying might have been averted had a maid working in a nearby apartment who'd heard screams called the police, but she hadn't. Lazarus could have been apprehended even earlier. The DNA had been proven to be a woman's in 2005, but the investigators hadn't realized that original suspects were male at the time. When the case came up for re-review in February, they realized the mistake and a secretive 4-month investigation was launched. On June 9th, 2009, Stephanie Lazarus found herself on the wrong side of the law. She appeared in court in an orange jumpsuit, appearing distressed, her eyes wide open. Lazarus spoke just once, answering the judge about the continuance. Yes, Your Honor. After more than 4 weeks and some 60 witnesses, the jury takes little more than a day to reach a verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Stephanie Eileen Lazarus guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen. 60 witnesses, they took 1 day. I am very disappointed, Orville said of the guilty verdict. I think the speed of the verdict showed we never had a chance. 26 years after Sherry Rasmussen's death, her family members finally have their chance to speak in court after sentencing 2 months after the conviction. Quote, because of a selfish, brutal act of violence, Sherry's family and friends have endured extreme heartache and pain for which there is no cure. Loretta Rasmussen, Sherry's mother, addressed the court. Quote, what a waste, Sherry's younger sister Teresa said in tears. It was so callous to take Sherry's life because she lived in all of us. John Rutan joins the family to speak about the woman he loved. Quote, Sherry Rasmussen had an impact on so many people, and I was so proud she agreed to be my wife. Rutan addressed the court. My heart still races when I look at her pictures, but Sherry was extraordinary, more for who she was than the way she looked. After remembering Sherry, Rutan stuns the listeners by apologizing to the Rasmussen family. The Rasmussens have treated me as a son and a brother, and contemplating their profound grief that she met her death because she met and married me brings me to my knees. The victim statements heard, Stephanie Lazarus is sentenced to 27 years to life in the state penitentiary. She could be paroled after 16 years, but she'll probably spend the rest of her life in prison. Nels and Loretta Rasmussen fought long and hard seeking justice for their murdered daughter. You never get over it. You only learn to live with it, said Loretta. We feel that loss until we leave this earth, said Nels. Stephanie will be eligible for parole in 22 years.
22 years, which is next.
What's
Is
that?
she out now? Is she out now? Where's
I
she
didn't find anything saying that she was out now.
Final question: did the husband remarry?
That I don't know.
You know, as much
Don't be
as
rolling your eyes at me, you alky. Go ahead, Ray.
as much as I would have addressed the criminal in the courtroom, I would have addressed the courts as well. Okay, we
Yep.
knew that it was a problem back in 1981. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I mean,
82, 83, 84, 85, 86. We knew she was a problem back then. Okay, and we told you. Okay, I would have
But
been
then
suing
nobody want to
everybody.
believe because it was one of their own. And they're like, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Mhm.
Like, ain't no way.
Oh, it was a way.
well, when you go back and the couple of lines I just read, when you talk about how bloody this scene was, it was overkill.
Oh, yeah.
This wasn't the murder of two Latinos or two anybody who were coming in to rob
Right.
someone. You beat this woman in the head and you shot her 3 times.
And you bit her.
And you
Okay.
bit her.
That was perfect.
Now, did she
That was perfect.
did she bite her after she shot her, or did she bite her first and said, "This ain't enough"? Okay, I got to kill this bitch. Okay, now,
Bam, bam, bam. Ah!
and then you bite, and then you beat her in the head. I mean, that's a crime of passion. That is overkill. Okay, that ain't no robbery. Okay.
I'm wondering if maybe there was some type of struggle, possibly, and that's where the bite. But they never say where the bite comes from.
Yeah,
And
because
obviously-
it's like this, and then she was behind her like this, and then
yeah,
she would
Right.
get like that. Yeah. You know.
folks,
In the movie. Okay.
find the podcast on YouTube. You got to see my two co-hosts here playing out how it all played out here. How the arm.
We need to do some reenactments. We need to do some reenactments.
Like this.
You can see that. You can see August struggling to find her a charger for a phone. You can see her rolling her eyes at me, flipping me off.
The phone be like, bitch, we don't work like this. All we do is answer and hang up.
And every week I'm gonna give you a look.
You can see Ray. He had just tilted his hat like Justin Timberlake.
I'll give you a look. Get into this.
Ray, I don't remember you ever not having a beard. Have you always had a beard?
No, I didn't, because I got too many chins. Okay, so it keeps it. It's a nice cover up. Okay.
Okay, I was trying to remember. Did you ever not have one?
You don't see it. You don't see it. You don't see it. Where is it? It ain't there. It don't exist. Okay.
Thank you guys for listening, man. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in with us. Murderess is back again for my good friends who have been hounding me for months. When it's coming back, I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting the way that you do. We're gonna keep this thing on the. I was talking to these two folks before we got started. We're looking forward to building this thing back up, doing live shows, starting here in the Valley, and hopefully being able to spread from there. So only with your support can we make that happen. So if you are someone who loves it, please share it with another friend that you know who loves true crime. Leave us those 5-star reviews on Apple, and also leave us a 5-star rating, I should say, and something nice. Man, we haven't seen a review in quite some time, so leave some nice reviews and just enjoy it. About the story you just heard, we sourced it from murderpedia.org, from True TV, an article that was written by Tricia Romano and CBSNews.com. Thank you guys again for listening, and remember, be aware of your surroundings. We will see you next week.
Who that?
Why?
Okay. Who that?
I said, well,